The Hampton Roads region of Virginia faces an extreme threat, this being sea level rise caused by climate change. The Hampton Roads region of Virginia is an incredibly densely populated region of the state, and it is estimated to be the largest population in the country to be affected by sea level rise. Flooding is a common concern along the Virginia Peninsula and continues to get worse, as Hampton Roads faces up to 7 feet of sea level rise by the end of the century. Because of the high population density, there is an abundance of impermeable surfaces like roads, bridges, parking lots, shopping centers, developments, etc., in order to support this large and growing community. This, along with rising sea levels due to climate change, leads to an excessive amount of runoff into our waterways and results in dangerous and disastrous flooding throughout the region. Further, the infrastructure we rely on is constantly aging. Many bridges and tunnels in the area are more than 50 years old and are beginning to show their age. Because of frequent flooding, intense storm surges, and constant congestion, it is common nowadays for commuters to be trapped in traffic for hours. This ultimately leads to less time spent at work or with families. Businesses and schools are often forced to close, halting local economies. This driver of change, along with our infrastructure system, creates a very time-consuming problem, which is very expensive to repair. Fortunately, there are a number of efforts underway to address these system challenges. The Hampton Roads Sea Level Rise Preparedness and Resilience Intergovernmental Planning Pilot Project being one example. This 2-year pilot project seeks to address the 4 major impacts of sea level rise. 1. Permanent inundation or flooding. 2. Increased tidal flooding. 3. Increased storm surge, both in frequency and magnitude. And 4. Combined impact of sea level rise, precipitation, and groundwater elevation on storm water drainage. The pilot project will combine the efforts of federal, state, and local agencies with private industries and researchers, as well as community feedback. The ultimate goal of this project is to better enable the region to not only combat the sources of sea level rise and establish an effective means of addressing and dealing with these issues when they do arise, but to also serve as a template for affected regions across the United States. While I find this effort to be a good starting point for addressing the negative and harmful effects of flooding throughout the region, I find the plan a little too vague. After reading over Phase 1 and 2 of the plans, they are more of overarching goals rather than a systematic procedure laid out in order to accomplish those goals. While I hope to find this pilot project effective, I would also hope to see more hands-on and tangible efforts of combating flooding within the region. Specifically, a more efficient stormwater system that incorporates rain gardens along, in, and around the areas with the most impermeable surfaces in order to reduce flash flooding, promote water filtration, and mitigate runoff. The Virginia Peninsula is an ecologically diverse part of the state. I hope with both immediate projects and foresight planning, we can protect this vulnerable region and protect and promote its economic and environmental well-being.